Professor Green, maternal health services in Ireland are amongst the best in the world. If a woman has a substantial risk of dying in the immediate hours or days, there's no legal difficulty. We press on and offer treatment. Do I know of any woman that died because of the lack of the legal vacuum? No, I'm not aware of any case. As I've said already, if a woman is imminently in danger, we press on and treat her. Do we know of a case of maternal death because obstetricians were reluctant to act? We're not aware of such a case.
I personally have no knowledge of ever having cared for a woman where very specifically she wanted to end her life because of the pregnancy specifically, and in my pursuit of information over the last week or so, I've been unable to identify any other consultant who did know of such a woman.
The second point I want to make is that there is no evidence that abortion reduces suicide risk in pregnant women, and there is some evidence that it may have a negative effect in some instances.
And again, with the issue of suicide, nobody is suggesting that suicide or that termination of pregnancy is a cure for the mental anguish.
Have we as perinatal psychiatrists ever seen a situation where termination of pregnancy has been the treatment for a suicidal woman? And that is, just to reiterate in our statement, with over 40 years clinical experience between us, we haven't seen one clinical situation where that's the case.
Now, there's something very strange in the report, and that is a statement at the beginning of the report that the only brief which the Minister, that's to say the Minister for Health, Mr. Riley, gave the expert group was to bring in options consistent with the existing constitutional framework. That is to say, the constitutional framework as interpreted by the Supreme Court decision. So what we have there is a Minister, contrary to the terms of reference which his own government set up this group by, contrary to the promise given by Fine Gael going into this particular election, saying to the committee, briefing the committee, apparently, to bring in options within the scope of the X decision. The government then get the expert group, which has found that its terms have been narrowed by the Minister, and they say we must act in the expert group, and here we are talking about legislation.
In essence, X-case legislation would expect doctors to recommend an intervention, i.e. abortion, that has not been shown to be of benefit to mental health, to prevent a rare outcome, i.e. suicide, that cannot be predicted. In my view, legislation for X that includes suicide risk is not supported by any scientific evidence.
Unless we understand, and unless the Irish people understand, and unless the politicians understand that it is not necessary to actually implement the Supreme Court decision. That's a crucially important legal point.
It is regrettable, I believe, that the government has prematurely committed itself to a course of action without the benefit of the valuable testimony that has been presented to this committee over the recent days. The idea that lives of some human beings are less valuable than those of others has no place in Irish law.